So I'm a CA by profession, and I did my architecture from EY, and now I'm working with JP Morgan in the investment banking domain. So the hours are pretty hectic here. So I started my GMAT prep around March, and I was planning to give the exam by October, November. But I had to push my exam a bit ahead because around August I came to know I'll be going to London for 2 months in October, November. So I preponed my exam to early September, and I scored a 710. And right now I'm planning to apply in ISB for the next year. There's 23-24 batch. So I think that's it. Yeah. I had searched the web for a couple of tuitions or classes for GMAT, and a lot of them were like 20 hours quant, 30 hours verbal, or just 16 hours quant, 24 hours verbal. So they were very brief, very short, and they were mostly structured for people who are who are already given or giving CAT, so they can just adjust to the GMAT and just give it. But I wanted a curriculum which is more granular, more detailed, and a bit. So, for example, the CareerLabs course had 40 hours of quant and 60 hours of verbal, additionally with plus the webinar. So that is what I was interested in. So I wanted a bit more concept clarity, as I hadn't studied maths or verbal for the last 5 years. So that is what preferred me over CareerLabs, rather than something else. The lectures, what I wanted was a bit more conceptual clarity, a lot of concepts, so that I would set the base correct first and then practice questions. And that is what I got, because as I mentioned, the lectures were very detailed, granular. A lot of concepts were covered. For example, probability of permutation combination. You just have one question or two questions in the exam, but still it was covered quite detailed. So that is what helped me. So I did not want to just focus on the marks aspect, but just cover all concepts first and then give the exam. That is why the tablet lecture definitely helped me to build the concepts and get the background and the base set for the exam. And the webinars were also good. I attended only the quant webinar. I did not attend the verbals because, as I mentioned, I was pretty short on time for the exam. I had to prepone it my exam for like 2 months, so that is why I had to manage a bit here and there. There was only one faculty for quant. He was really good. So the Telegram group also helped me, because you can post in your questions and you get a reply in like a day maximum. And even people post their own questions. So maybe even you can have a look at what others are having queries or doubts at, and it's like you can practice a question a day by just looking at the group. So that group and the faculty definitely helped me. So that was helpful for sure. Yeah. I did receive a couple of support calls, but as I mentioned, my working hours are pretty hectic at IB. So I have not studied for any weekday from March till September. Only weekday I would have studied is the holidays. So my start was super slow. That is why I just mentioned that I was finishing the curriculum and going through. Like for an example, I gave my first mock on 6th September, and I gave my GMAT actual exam on 12th September. That is how much I was pressed on time. So they were supportive, but it was like I did not have much time to prepare, and I was pressed on time. So that was the case, but I did get a couple of calls for that. So what I did is, it will depend on people because it's very subjective, but since I had not prepared for quant and verbal before, I wanted to get the concepts right. So that is the first thing that I would do, is first focus on concepts and not just directly start solving questions and just directly give a go at it and just keep solving, keep practicing. If your concepts are wrong, no matter how much practice you do, you might not get the correct answer, right? Or you might get it right by fluke. So first is build concepts. Second is know your strengths and weaknesses. For example, for me, verbal, as it is for most of Indians, was difficult. So I had focused a bit more on verbal, the concepts and everything. So it will depend upon if you're good at verbal, then you can plan accordingly. One more advice would be since it's a time-bound test, it's very important to know your target score. Based on target score, you can determine giving your mocks that, okay, suppose you target maybe be 40 for verbal, then you know that you can, even if you get 8 questions wrong out of 36, you still get a 40. So if you know that you can get maybe 8 or 10 questions wrong, you can manage your time better, and you can plan accordingly. You need not spend a lot of time on just doing one question, or just thinking or thinking about not doing even a question wrong. So that is something you can do, and I think, yeah, that's pretty much all. Yeah.